We all know what's happening to the sovereignty of this country. It's being leached away, little by little by little. You see the United Nations talking about setting up a universal criminal court that can prosecute American soldiers without our permission. We see the IMF right now lending tens of billions, scores of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, putting at risk the American people without the say-so of the Congress of the United States of America. Last fall, the most trusted man in America, Walter Cronkite, he got an award. He got an award from the World Federalist Association. And he went up there to the World Federalist Association, and what did he say? He said, we Americans have got to have the courage to give up our sovereignty. We've got to have the courage to put our troops under UN command and get a world army to defend world peace, because that's where the world is gone. I'll give Cronkite credit. He says out loud what Gore believes and what Clinton believes and what Stroke Calvin says out loud. Now, what is this new world order all about? It is about a reversal of the American Revolution. The American Revolution was a bunch of farm kids and men working in blacksmith shops and working at other jobs, standing up to the greatest army on earth in places like Lexington and Concord and saying to the whole world that forever, no matter what happens, we Americans will decide here and decide for ourselves our own destiny. The New World Order is the reversal, the overturning of that revolution. That's what the end goal is. America's a rich province, part of their New World Order. But I give you my word, if ever I stand up on that east wing of the Capitol and take my oath as President of the United States, when my hand goes up, their New World Order comes crashing down. Out there this fall, that won't even be heard. The things we believe in, the things we care about. If this is a democracy, if it's a democratic republic, I don't say we shouldn't hear what Clinton's got to say, but what about what we believe? Yeah. We got two Xerox copies up there in Bush and Gore. The two of them. Poll-tested mush. That's what they got. Poll-tested mush. That's all they got. You know? They got there. And it's the day he'll ask those advisors. He said, what does the focus group say? How we should handle that? What do the consultants say? Have you poll tested this? And by the way, who's the Prime Minister of Estonia, in case they ask? That's why they both sound alike at the end of the campaign. They got the same kind of pollsters, consultants, focus groups, all telling them both the same thing. And the Washington Post and New York Times saying, you can't talk about immigration. You can't talk about sovereignty. You can't talk about China because everybody's supposed to agree on that. What they don't understand is we don't agree. That's what's causing people to come from all over into this Reform Party. It's because we don't agree and we want a voice. And we tell you we're going to get in those debates. You know, they got that rinky-dink little Presidential Debate Commission. It's chaired by one Democratic ex-chairman of the party, who's a lobbyist, and the other chairman is Frank Fahrenkopf, an old friend of mine, who used to be chairman of the Republican Party, and he now is $1 million a year lobbyist for the Nevada gambling industry. And those two guys, those two hacks, are the ones telling us we can't be part of a national debate that decides the presidency of the United States. Well, I got news for them. Look, if they can have 6 people debate in Mexico, we can have 3 debate in the United States. They're not going to keep us out. They're not going to keep us out of those debates, friends. They got 6 folks debating down in Mexico. and they can't have 3 in the United States. You know, I'm going to call Ernesto Zedillo, the president of Mexico, and he doesn't like me. He said so many times, that I don't like Buchanan. But I tell you this, they got 6 people in the debate down there. We're going to get, I'm going to call Zedillo and ask him if he'll send some observers up to make sure the Americans conduct a fair election this fall. We'll get some observers up. Well, listen, I can see this lady looking at her clock and looking at me. I can see I'm running up on my 20-minute deadline here. We got 2, 2? Okay, well, why don't we get the folks lining up to ask some questions here? How many minutes you going to give me for the questions? Oh, 20 for the questions? Okay, we'll get ready to do those questions. But listen, this is a wonderful turnout. It is a terrific turnout. We've been going out here in California, around the country. They get larger and larger. John, Charles can both tell you. We get out to these places, the turnouts get larger and larger. The energy is building. We're going to build this to a crescendo. We're going to come out of there united out of Long Beach. We're going to have a united party in Long Beach. And then we're going to go all the way into those debates, all the way to November. We'll get up there when I raise my hand and take that oath of office, as I told those folks in Ames, Iowa. I promise you, the first thing I do, I'll turn to Bill Clinton and say, I'm President, sir, and I'm the Chief Law Enforcement Officer. And you have a right to remain silent.